Hello, my name is Simon Miller, and welcome to another episode of Ups and Downs. Now, I don't usually like to talk about, other things away from Ups and Downs or SmackDown or Raw or pay-per-views, but you've seen this. You've seen my arm in a sling, so just bear with me for 1 second. Basically, and I'm not going to get into the teeny tiny little details, I had a wrestling match within the last 24 hours, and this happened. And if you do want to see it, you can check it out on Access Defiant this weekend. You just, go there, sign up to the subscription service, or Fight TV, both are good, and you can witness what happened there. And it probably doesn't work. It's not moving, as you probably figured out, because I'm wearing a sling. That's what a sling does. But let's not worry about that. Bad things happen, and you know how you counter bad things by putting a smile on your face, and in this instance, up in those downs. Now, I particularly like the start to SmackDown because they're focusing on Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the US Championship, and much like they've been doing on Raw, when you focus on those secondary belts, you know what happens? Those secondary belts start to become important. But Jeff Hardy came out, he said he was really sad to lose the US title at Extreme Rules just a couple of days ago, and while he may still look like Jeff Hardy, he doesn't feel like Jeff Hardy inside, and also, he's really sad. And that made me sad. I don't want to see Jeff Hardy sad. I want to see Jeff Hardy really happy, mostly because when he's happy, he climbs out ladders and he jumps on stuff and he smashes through tables. You should probably stop doing that now, Jeff. Just for the record, I think you're in your 40s and you've got a wife and family and kids. But what can I say? Clearly an idiot. We then cut backstage to Nakamura, who gloated over the fact that Jeff Hardy was all upset and said, you know what, I hope I make you cry again. Look how good this is. Look how easy this was. We've got the prize, which is US gold. Jeff Hardy's the lovable face. Shinsuke Nakamura is the asshole heel. I like this WWE. Thank you very much. And also, we're getting the rematch in the main event of this week's episode of SmackDown. So there's loads to be excited about. And then we got AJ Styles versus Andrade Cien Almas. And while at first I was like, are we about to job out Almas? We didn't. This was excellent. Getting up. Almas proved that he could more than hang with the WWE champion, and there was this amazing moment where he hit him with the double knees, and the near fall was so close, I actually thought that Andrade Cien Almas, the guy that at one point just vanished out of NXT before, making his way back up, was going to beat the champ. I mean, he didn't. He then went for the hammerlock DDT, and AJ Styles reversed that into the calf crusher. But I tell you, this is one of those matches that if you weren't planning on watching it, which I can understand, forget that. Throw it out the window, go and watch it, because it's faboo. Andrade comes out the other side looking like an even better wrestler, and that's what good pro wrestling matches should do, even the loser benefits. The only thing that I'm slightly worried about is that this match happened because Vega was backstage and she was goading Styles like, you an asshole. She didn't say that, so I hope this isn't like a teaser of a breakup between those two, because those two are raising. Raising? Don't know what that means. Amazing. We'll blame it on this. It's like, do you remember when WWE broke out Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez? Don't do that, WWE. It didn't benefit either of them. These two are better together. They're a pair. They're a unit. And talking of all of that, see, I was segueing, Aiden English then went and apologised to Lana for everything that happened at Extreme Rules. And if you didn't see Extreme Rules, basically, Aiden English, he tried to interfere. He screwed up, and that meant Rusev lost. However, this bit, getting down. Lana started questioning what exactly Aiden brings to this relationship and said maybe Ruru would be better off without him, and I don't want that for all the reasons I just said. If you take Aiden English out of the Rusev Day gimmick, what are you going to do with him? He's just going to fade away after the feud, and that sucks because he's an essential part of it. Also, I just like seeing Rusev and him together. Makes me happy, makes me pleased, makes my heart sing, and I like it when my heart sings. It's like birds when you wake up on a Sunday morning and it's early but you don't care because the sunlight's hitting your face and there's the chirping from the lovely winged creatures. Don't know what we're talking about now. We've gone off on a very strange tangent, and I'm not even on any painkillers. Yet. And then we got a match between Becky Lynch and Mandy Rose, and I'll be honest with you, I rolled my eyes because I was like, oh, we're going to have another Becky Lynch match where she wins but doesn't go anywhere. But it did go somewhere, and it went somewhere very exciting. And after she did beat Mandy Rose using the disarmer, she got up and she said, look, I keep being victorious on SmackDown week in, week out, which she does. I should challenge Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And she's 100% correct. And then we did cut to Paige and Carmella, and Paige said to the champ, look, that is exactly what is going to happen at SummerSlam unless you can stop Becky Lynch next week in a match. So yeah, next week, 7 days' time, if Becky Lynch wins, it's Lynch versus Carmella for the title at SummerSlam, and if she doesn't, well, it's not. But let's face it, she's probably going to win once more. Excellent. This episode of SmackDown was very good. And everything between Samoa Joe and TY Dillinger rocked. huge up. It started off in the back where TY Dillinger thought that R-Truth was trying to G him up, and he took all of that and he was all pumped. Then it turned out R-Truth was actually on the phone to his mum, and when he realised what was going on, he was like, no. Don't fight Samoa Joe, TY Dillinger. That's a terrible idea. A quick tangent here, R-Truth, you are absolutely underused. You're still hilarious. Bring back little Jimmy. Love little Jimmy. And then you know what happened. We got to the actual match and TY Dillinger got absolutely murdered by Samoa Joe. But I didn't mind that because, I'm actually in love with Samoa Joe. And also, I think we're building to Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles at SummerSlam for the WWE title. And that will just blow my mind because, these should be the TNA guys. Now they're doing that on the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. That is just fantastic. And SmackDown just kept hurling out the ups because we got an episode of Miz TV. The Miz was mourning the fact that Team Hell No were dead. It was entertaining as it was hilarious getting it up. The Miz went all out as well. He had pallbearers and Corey Graves was crying on commentary, and he basically spent the whole segment moaning about Daniel Bryan and saying that, really, he's a big piece of trash. And ever since he has returned, he has ruined his legacy. Eventually, Daniel Bryan came out because of course he did, and he whooped everybody's ass, including some of the pallbearers that had come out for the fake funeral. The Miz ran off, and you've got to expect that we're now building towards The Miz and Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, and let's be honest, you want that, I want that. We've wanted it since that Talkin' Smack segment. I can't imagine if I said this or not, but of course, this is getting an up. Of course it's getting an up. It may have been the best up on a really good show. And what's that? You want another up? Well, you're going to get another up because then Eric Young beat Kofi Kingston in a singles match. Up. Now, it was good to begin with because Sally actually won, and before Extreme Rules, they couldn't buy a victory. And the finish here was really cool because Killian Dane literally picked up Xavier Woods and hurled him into Kofi Kingston. That allowed Eric Young to hit the net breaker, 1, 2, 3, and now this feud is rocking and rolling because the heels are picking up wins, the New Day don't know what to do, and now I want to see what's going to happen next. Wrestling. And then we got to our main event. It was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy for the US title. Have a guess what I'm going to give it. Have a think. Could he possibly give it another up? Could he possibly be that guy? Smiles. Yes. Up. The two just have great chemistry, and it's like an interesting matchup for me. When did you ever think you were going to see Nakamura, the New Japan guy, against Jeff Hardy, the Attitude Era guy, that loved throwing himself through, whatever he could throw himself through? It actually looked like at one point that Jeff was going to win his title back, but then can you believe it? Who came out the crowd to whip his ass? That's right, it was Randy Orton, who is now 100% a heel. There's no two ways about it. There's one point especially you should make sure you go and see, and that is when Randy Orton actually pulled the hole in Jeff Hardy's ear. I mean, that had to have hurt. You can't fake that. It was brutal. But guess what? Got sympathy for Jeff Hardy, hate Randy Orton. Randy Orton, as I've just said, I'm going to say it again, he's just such a good heel. He could be the best heel. He's not. He could be. Then he hit a DDT from the announce table onto the floor. Jeff Hardy was dead. Shinsuke Nakamura was like, what the hell is going on? And I tell you this, it was just a great episode of SmackDown. 2 hours of joy, 2 hours of wonder, and 2 hours that made me forget that my shoulder is hanging by a thread. Thanks, wrestling, and thank you, other thumbs just gone up if you don't know, WWE. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com, read yourself some articles, and follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from What Culture. Once again, I'm okay. I'll get over this and I'll be back in that damn ring because that's what I will do. And I will give you a salute, and I will see you soon.